Let's go down to Vinnie Christiano III with head coach Trevor Large.
Thanks, guys. Here with Canisius hockey head coach Trevor Large. Coach, Robert Morris is a team that allows a lot of shots. You guys had over 15 in the first period. How good did it feel to bury one at the end there?
Well, I think you're right on, Vinny. It feels great because I think we earned it.
Thanks, Howard. I got a chance to talk to Engineers head coach Dave Smith prior to the start of today's game, and he talked about how the top two lines on this RPI team are going to have to dictate how the game goes for them. There are 6 players on this RPI roster with 8 or 9 points, but not one individual has gone away with a scoring crown and become that #1 option so far this season. One player that might be able to do that, number 19, Sutter Mazzotti. Another player that Coach Smith thought might have an impactful series is number 18, Jacob Lee. However, unfortunately for Lee, he went hard into the boards on one of his previous shifts. He's been working on a lower body injury and has not yet returned to the ice. We'll keep an eye on that as this game goes on.
All right, Vinny, thanks very much. Vinny?
Thanks, guys. Here with Canisius head coach Trevor Large. Coach, your power play unit scored a goal just 3 minutes into that first period. How important is it to get that unit some confidence going forward?
Well, I think it's a big thing. It's something that we focused on. We had a short break, Vinny, but we did have a solid break, and power play is something that we're trying to get better at, so it was great to get an early goal.
Your team and the Engineers then traded scoring chances for the remainder of that period. What can you guys do going forward to prohibit RPI from getting as many in the second and third?
Yeah, they're pretty hard on the forecheck, so we got to do a little bit better job breaking the puck out. You know, we'll have a strategy potential change for that to try to advance the pucks, get into the neutral zone, and get down in their end, because I really like what we're doing in our O zone, and our focus on the net's been great.
As you've just seen in the Eaton Office Supply coaches file, head coach Andy Jones for the Bentley Falcons. It's his first time here at the Lecom Harbor Center as the main man behind the bench for the Falcons, but he is a man with a history of success with the Riverhawks, and with that program, he received rave reviews, especially from his former captain, Lucas Candata, a player with the Montreal Canadiens organization, who described him as someone who is always there for his players. With Bentley, they're a team that hasn't made the semifinals of the Atlantic Hockey Association tournament since 2009, and with the success that Coach Jones has had with the Riverhawks at UMass Lowell, they certainly believe they have the man for the job to bring them their first championship. They currently sit in 6th place in the standings with a playoff push coming to put themselves in position to win it all. Back to you. Thank you very much, guys. Coach, only one question for you here after the first. You find yourself down 2-0, and you've told me before you want your team to embody an attack mentality. How do you think your team can do that more effectively here going into the remaining 2 periods?
Together.
We've talked before, and you mentioned that specific shot numbers aren't very important to you. Again today, significantly outshooting RPI. They had a very highly effective shooting day, though, scoring 6 goals on just about 20 shots. What do you maybe attribute to their high shooting efficiency?
Well, I liked how we played to be able to generate that many shots, and I thought we outchanced them.
You had more than 30 saves today, and your team blocked a bunch of shots as well. What can you say about the defensive performance from that group as a whole?
When a guy makes a block like that, you get a little extra in you to go all out on these games. So. Lastly,
you guys are back at it again tomorrow at 1 p.m. What are you hoping is different about your team's approach for the second game of the series? Thanks, guys. I talked to Trevor Large prior to the beginning of this season, and he said that every time the Golden Griffins take the ice, their mentality is to be a team of high character that thinks fast and attacks. Now today, he talked to us after the end of the first period and said he's pretty happy with how his team is playing in the offensive zone, but on defense, it's been all Ryan Bouchette for the Engineers, as he has all 3 of their goals. The Golden Griffins have continued to emphasize that attack mentality and look for them to continue that in the end of this second period and throughout the third to try to get back in this game and tie it up at 3. Thanks, guys. Here with our Pepsi player of the game, Matteo Giampa. Matteo, you now have 8 goals in 11 career games played. I have to imagine you're having a lot of fun playing college hockey right now.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. The boys are great. The culture is great here. You know, I'm just enjoying my time every day.
How do you feel your game has grown in those 11 games so far?
Well, I think the pace is a lot faster, so, you know, just adjusting to that. Getting the mind right, everything with the physical to the mental. I think that's the biggest thing, especially with the schoolwork on top of that. It's definitely a challenge, but we're working through it, and we're doing a really good job right now.
You've already put together a pretty impressive season. What are you hoping to continue building on throughout the rest of the year?
I think it's just get better every day. I don't think there's one thing. I think there's multiple things the team needs to get better at, but, you know, it's still early on in the season. But, you know, just getting better every day with the little things, preparing really good, taking care of the body. I think that's the biggest thing right now.
Thanks, Mateo. Great game today. Guys, back to you.
All right, thank you, Vinnie. That was Vinnie Christiano III with Mateo Giampa, who had 2 goals tonight.